Okay, I'm going to show you how to sew the parabola that we sewed first in the workshops. First off, I'm going to remind you how to take one thread when there's a number of threads on there. You take one piece of the thread between your finger and thumb, you take the rest of the thread between the other finger and thumb, and then you pull gently. You just keep pulling, and that will bunch up behind that finger and thumb, but not. Keep pulling, and then you end up with this at the end, which you can keep for later. Thread that needle. Now you remember that we're imagining that these holes are numbered from along the two lines, from one going that way and then from one going this way. So we're going to start at number 1 at the very end of one of the lines, doesn't matter which one. We're going to sew into there, into the back usually being the one that's got more bumpy lines in it. Okay, I'm going to pull that through until we've got a little bit on the back, and then stick that down. And then that first stitch is going to go from the number 1 to the other number 1 on the other line, so all the way across the front to where the holes meet. And then that short stitch on the back, and then on the front, over to there, always making sure you're coming up on the outside of these lines. Cross to the next hole on the other line, and then when you're on the back, just one hole along on the same line. So you get that short stitch on the back, and then the long stitch going over the top of the ones you've already sewn on the front. And you just keep going like that. Long stitch on the front, short stitch on the back, so it looks a bit like a running stitch on the back. Watch out for knots. If you do get a knot, you can often just put the needle into the loop and pull, and it comes out. Sometimes they don't, but then you can just stick them down on the back and carry on, really. You see the curves starting to form there. Okay, when you've sewn into all the holes, and the curves in there, and you just stick it down on the back. I actually had a long enough piece of thread to do the whole parabola, but if you had got stuck, if you'd run out of thread, you just stick that down on the back and start again as if you're doing that short stitch on the back. And there we are, finished. And remember that once you've got and you know how to do a parabola, you can do lots of different things with it. So this is a design that's made up of a lot of parabolas just sewn onto a right angle. You can change the angle that you sew across. The lines don't need to meet. You can overlap them. You can do all sorts of different things. You can make up patterns with them.